Hey, good morning. Hi, beautiful ladies. Hey, everyone in the chat. Happy Monday. It's so good to see everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you're new here, please know there's 7 of us. We're just missing Wendy today. So when you come to the spiritual view, you will get different content every day from each of us. So really, whether you're very seasoned or new to this, I promise there's something for everyone. So I hope that you'll enjoy this and share and keep subscribing and keep coming back. We love you so much. Also, I want you to remember that it's not only about the topics, but really about connecting and growing and learning and just being a really cool community, a safe community where we do our best to really keep everybody uplifted, including ourselves. And I hope you feel the energy from that. I would like to remind you to put a heart in the comments if you would like a reading today. We are focusing on opportunities that will arise as we move forward. We have Pluto finally marching its little self into Aquarius. I think there's a welcoming party. I'm not sure going on in Aquarius, but we're celebrating that. And we will have our monthly event Friday the 22nd, this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And that's where everyone will get an opportunity to actually win a full free reading from one of us. It's kind of random drawing. So thank you again for being here. And with that, I believe I am going to turn it over to Sari, where it is 7 a.m. her time. So she's going to bring in the morning, ground us, and welcome you all in. So thank you, Sari. By the way, you guys, hi to everybody. I'm so bad about this. We have Jen here today, Dawn, Marsha, Sari, and Angie. And again, Wendy. Hi, girl. All right. Thank you guys so much. Sari, I'm over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the week. It's a brand new start, and wanted to ask everyone if you could just get settled in your chair and close your eyes. Just relax for a few moments. We're going to go through this quickly. So we've got a lot on the agenda today. So would ask you just to sit back and relax. Slow your breathing. We're going to take a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose again, out through the mouth. Just continue to relax into your body. Take some nice deep cleansing breaths as we imagine this beautiful white light going all the way through our chakras, moving through the crown, gently moving down through all the chakras, cleansing and aligning and balancing. Feel the warm light move its way down your body, all the way through the legs, the feet, out the toes, deep into Mother Earth. We are feeling her nurturing and loving energy embrace us and surround us today. That beautiful light, which is grounded and safe and secure, comes back through our chakras all the way up through and goes out of the crown up into the ethers, the heavens, and connects us with Source. And that beautiful light comes down around each of us in a cone of protective light. We have Archangel Michael here to give us strength, guidance, and support for the week. Ask your angels and guides to surround you as you work your way through every day. May all the information today for this community be to our greatest and highest good. And with that, I'll pass it over to Dawn. Thank you.
Hello. Well, I'm sure everybody is pretty excited about the permanent move from Pluto into Aquarius. And I want to point out it's done it several times before. So it was Capricorn season. Um, I believe it was January 20th. And we had the sun was moving into Aquarius. That happened on the 20th in the morning. And then that evening, Pluto moved in. So they actually did not ever have an exact conjunction, but all the other planets then came through and made conjunctions with the sun, with Pluto at that time. So to me, that was like they were getting directions. So I think what we need to remember is that all of the planets have had a little chat with Pluto in Aquarius already, and that I think that's going to tell us how that's going to affect us as we go forward. What I will say is that you should feel the energy. You will feel that energy as it comes in. We do have the moon will be in Cancer, so it's a very very intuitive time. And so watch what happens that day. What is going to be happening for you? And because it's going to be slow moving, I think you'll feel that burst of energy. And then later on, because it's going to be a 20-year transit, you'll have it reactivated at different times. But I will say right now, anybody that has anything from 0 to 3 degrees of the fixed signs is going to feel that much more powerfully and in an active way. So because that's Aquarius, the opposite sign would be Leo. So that's a fixed sign. And then you have Scorpio, and the opposite from that is Taurus. And those are fixed signs. So those would be the square. And the energy from Aquarius to Leo would be the opposition. That would be the strongest. You're going to be, especially the squares, you're going to be activated to have to do something with it when it's a square. There's something that's going to be required of you. So I feel that you'll feel that strongly. Otherwise, with the other ones, it's generally going to be a very beneficial, like it's a sextile or it's a trine, something like that. So what house is Aquarius for you? That's an important thing to look at, because that'll be the theme. And because you have the different themes with each house, I would say it'll probably hit on all of those at one time or another. For me, it will be the ninth house. That's higher learning, higher connection, higher belief system, long distance travel. And I feel that as Pluto moves through Aquarius, anything that a house may signify, Pluto will generally interact with, because it's going to be touched many times as it's rotating through. So I really want everyone to get the sensation of it's a really powerful time to move forward. And we are going to be getting some very nice greetings at the beginning of December. Venus is going to be conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. And so will Ceres on the same day that Neptune stations direct. So there's so much energy of moving forward in our spiritual growth. And I want to stress that for everyone. I know when Pluto went into Aquarius back in January, I found out within 20 minutes of Pluto moving that I was going to be a grandmother. So to me, it's a big deal, and I'm looking forward to hearing what's going to be coming up next in my growth. But does anybody else have any situations like that happened?
Just a quick question. This new transit with Pluto is 20 years. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
Yeah, Pluto doesn't spend the same amount of time in each sign. It was 16 years in Capricorn, and it'll be, because it doesn't have that kind of orbit. It has more of an odd shaped orbit. So it spends sometimes a shorter amount of time. I think like Virgo is one of the shortest ones that it does. So we will have 20 years of Pluto in Aquarius, and it will eventually touch something in your chart, guaranteed. So you need to kind of watch for that energy. I know that the rule is generally about, I've heard of 1 degree before, but there's 2 degrees beforehand where you'll be getting that energy. And then it's a good year that it's going to be around whatever it's going to be affecting in your planets, your personal planets. So be prepared for those moments. So Angie, I think there was something that you wanted to say about Mercury.
Yeah. So just in the vein of, if you're a journaler, check back on that January 20th date to look for how that energy may feel and may play out for you now, moving back into with Pluto moving back into Aquarius. And then we also have the Mercury opposing Jupiter retrograde today. So that was this morning. It's at 18 degrees 47. So you round up to use the lesson of that Sabian symbol, which is discipline, and its sister of participation. So remember, even they're like, they help each other as much as it's like fighting siblings. You love each other, but that sometimes comes through conflict and aggravation, but it ends up flowing and helping each other. So keep that in mind. This is pelicans moving through their habitat. So keep an eye out for any pelicans. I know sometimes they appear in cards. And then also with the Gemini being in Jupiter at that degree, is participation is the theme. And the degree is a large archaic volume. This is what I find fantastically interesting, because it's tuning in finally to that archetypal wisdom. And when you look back, I'm putting this in my notes today too, if you're interested. This is a big leap of faith moment. So it's kind of like, jump now, don't overthink it, jump now, kind of weigh it out later, but just go take. And if it doesn't work, fine, take it as a learning experience. But whatever presents itself now, like, go. It's a big green flag. And then the next time the same energy is going to play out, I want you to note this week, anything that comes up for you, any opportunities that present themselves, flip to your December 26th in your journal and write down, look back at November 18th. And you're going to look back at that week to have that comparison, right? And if you want to go all the way back, I went back to when Pluto um, entered Capricorn since 2008 of January. The only time this same opposition has happened was on December 17th, 2012. So look back, if you keep notes back from that long. I know I do, I'm a journaler. So look back then, because that was when a golden haired goddess of opportunity was presenting itself, and we had to listen to critiques and clues. The clues for this were found in critiquing that can be positive or shadow, like things we don't want to hear all the time. And then it was that was a 10-degree Sabian symbol of an airplane falling, uncovering the majestic power of the focused mind. So guys, this sharpening of that intent started clear back December of 2012. So if you do journal, go back and look then and kind of see what was happening for you. Now what's playing out is we're being able to tune in. We're being able to tune into it. And then when we come up on this 26th, we're retrograding. So it'll be going backwards into the pyramids and the Sphinx. So if you were with me last week, I did a reading called Riddle Me This. Don't know why that was coming up. And here we are. We're going to December 26th. We're going to feel that energy again. Reclaiming and embodying established teachings that stand the test of time. So this is tuning into the Akash. This is tuning into esoteric knowledge. This is really getting grounded and clearing your own decks of any lower level energies, because we need to listen. We need to be able to hear this. So if you are on this journey with us, I don't know, you wouldn't be here if you weren't. So this is the expanded mind has the facility of exceptional rapport and connectedness. This is next level-ish, is what I'm saying here, as far as abilities enhancing and us being able to hear clearly. So it feels really important to me. I can't put a top on that other than it feels sparkly, it feels energetic, it feels kinetic. I get a buzzing in my fingers as I'm talking about it. Today's song was Strange Magic, ELO. And their album was called Face the Music. So I thought that was really interesting. I drew a mushroom that made me think of Marsha. And they said the song was described as psychedelic. The musician played a 12-string acoustic guitar fed through a phase shifter. Can't make that stuff up. Like, I was like, what? This is a phase shift. Okay, a whole reset we're moving into. So it's important. It's important. It's important. And I'll post those for us today. I can even post them on our page if you guys want me to. But definitely noting those dates moving ahead. There's some dates to look back on of when you could have gotten these clues, and notice the synchronicities that are appearing. I wrote, what magic wants to be made and expressed? It feels really, really juicy. That's what it feels like to me.
I had pulled a card before we started from my golden.
Oh,
Sorry. I pulled a card before we started from my Golden Future deck that kind of lines up with what you were just talking about this magic that's going to be coming out. And it was the new children. And it was something that I had already been kind of realizing is like the children that's been born since like 2000, their karma really isn't there anymore. They're a new breed. And so we do have to acknowledge those children, their gifts, and, you know, start encouraging that and seeing that in a different way than like a lot of us, you know, when we saw our gifts coming out, they were discouraged. And so let me just read this and then we'll move on from that. Okay. Mother Mary is overseeing the incarnation of the new children and helping them to be all that they can be. Your task is to recognize and appreciate them so that they can step into their full power and happiness. At the same time, it's important to acknowledge yourself, for this card indicates that Mother Mary is lighting up your latent gifts and powers too. This beautiful being has nurtured and loved children throughout time, and she is inviting you to hand your inner child to her to receive encouragement, blessings, and spiritual awakening. You have much potential within your soul that is waiting to come forward. So allow your true essence to shine. So again, it's not even just for the children. It's like our inner child is being healed and restored through this as well. And so I like the tie-in that you had with the astrology, kind of lighting that up. So we had several astrology questions. So I do want to take a few seconds to acknowledge that. So let's see what we got.
and I do want to add that Pluto actually will enter Aquarius at 3:30 Eastern time tomorrow afternoon. So everybody set that on their watches and whatnot, so that you can kind of notice. And for me, it was like within 20 minutes of it hitting that 0 degree, I found that out. I was really watching that day, what was going on, and the sun entering it didn't, it was fine. But the second Pluto hit it, I was like, energy, boom.
What time was that happened? Do you remember?
That was about 8:20 in the evening, I believe. It was later in the evening. The morning is when the sun entered, and the evening is when Pluto entered. There was like 8 hours difference or something, I believe, when that happened. And I do note that somebody asked, how do you find out what your houses are? And I recommend astro.com. There are other Cafe Astrology is great too. But I like astro.com because it's got very accurate information regarding some other special things that you can do with it. Cafe Astrology works fine. AstroSeek works fine. But I know Astrodienst is made by astrologers that are in Sweden. That's how it's Astrodienst or astro.com. What you do is you go in and you put in your birth information and your time. In order to know the houses, you have to have a correct birth time. So that's very, very important, because that's determines your ascendant, which changes every 2.5 hours. And whether you use Placidus, which is fine, or whether you use whole sign houses or equal houses, the house system that you choose will have all of the signs in it, and you will find that 0 degree of Aquarius sign and find out what house is in your preferred house system, what house that is for you. When it's in some of the other, whether it's in Placidus or equal house system, it might not be right when it might be in the middle of a house, right? So that's what I would say. That's important. And really, if there's any way possible you can find your time of birth, that is great. If you don't have that information, what astrology can tell you is where your Mercury is, where your Jupiter is, all of those things. And that's handy because that still speaks to how you communicate, how you learn. But it's really, really important to try and find what your exact time was when you were born. So that was one question. And what was the other question?
There was, how do you find the degrees?
Oh, the degrees. Okay. So any degrees that you're going to be looking for are going to be based on the sign that you are looking at. So at the very, very beginning of the sign, that is where the 0 degrees is, right? Even if you're using a different house system, it will always be at the beginning of the sign where 0 degrees is. Now that can be a little confusing because all of the signs change usually at about the 20th or 21st or 22nd of a month, right? So the 0 degrees of Capricorn is, I think, like on the 20th. I mean, sorry, 0 degrees of Aquarius is on the 20th of January, basically. There's a little adjustment with leap years and things like that, but generally that's when you'll find those 0 degrees. So if you were born at 0 degrees of Cancer, you were born in June because that's when Cancer season starts, is like the 21st or 22nd. And that's when the summer solstice is. So you would have been born right after the summer solstice. So that's a little confusing, but degrees always go by what the sign is, So that's where you start that degree. And generally they're easier to find because there's little hash marks that have it at 10 and 20 degrees. So you know what section it's in. So that can help you figure out what degree it's at. Most horoscopes will list the degree of whatever planets are when you pull them up so that you know that. And that can help you too. But that's what I would say as a starting base. Look to the sign to determine the degrees that you're looking at and to help you find where that degree is in the chart. Does that make sense? Okay.
I have one more question that I want to ask, and this one is for Angie. So you talk about the Sabian symbols a lot, and I don't actually know what that is. So can you just give kind of like an overview of that?
Actually, Marsha was the one that got me curious about them because she talked about them a lot. So I was like, okay, that sounds like a rabbit hole that I could totally get into and love and get lost in. But they're basically, if you think of the zodiacal wheel, I think most of us here know that it's starts at Aries and goes all the way around to Pisces. Each of those pie pieces, the sky's in 12 pie pieces. Each of those pie pieces are 30 degrees. They go from 0 to 29 for each of those sections. When you take them all together, there are 12 sets of 30 degrees, making 360 degrees. There are 360 Sabian symbols, and these were divined out long, long ago, and she had a vision of each of those 360 degrees, and they all tell a story. So when you're looking at, for example, what is the lesson of 0 degrees Aquarius, you're going to round up. So you look to 1 degree Aquarius, and then what is that lesson? How do we learn that? You learn it by the previous degree. So we'd have to look at 30 Capricorn. And why are we learning it? We would look at 2 degrees Aquarius. So that is kind of going to tell you in general each time, like if people are confused about, well, what does Mars and this, like, what does Mars and Cancer mean? What does Mars and Leo mean? You can, if that's where you have that planet, look up that symbol, look up that symbol's lesson. How are you going to learn it? By the previous degree. Why do you have to learn that this lifetime? Look at the next degree. I hope that makes sense. So Aquarius, we're going to go 0 lesson, 30 degrees. Look at the previous. How are we going to learn it? By 30 Capricorn, which is coming to realize that true mastery involves the need for spiritual wisdom at the highest level of management regarding collective affairs. How are we going to do that? Balance. The theme of 0 degrees through 5 degrees Aquarius is balance. That whole component. So we're going to be there for quite a while because Pluto moves super slow. So think about Pluto, guys, wherever that is in your chart, the moon is going to move through your whole pie in a month. Pluto only moves through one little piece of your pie. For anywhere from, last time it was 16 years in Capricorn since 2008. 16 years for that one little piece of pie. Wherever your Aquarius pie piece is, we're going to be there for the next 20 years. So it's a big deal. 20 years divided by 30 degrees of Aquarius, that's how long it's going to take to shift through each of those degrees. It's a long time, even at 0. We're going to be here for a hot minute. We're going to be here for a hot minute. In addition, so I don't forget, every time, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, when Sri gives us a vision for or what she's surrounding us by, whether it's the golden sparkles or the rainbow, like on Friday, rainbows were coming up everywhere after that. Wendy had it in her reading. I had it in my readings. They were just everywhere. And today, I don't know if I got a lightning bolt. I forget, it's like power. I just saw like the sky, lightning bolts popping up in the sky, which is usually associated with a revolution. Yeah, that's why. It's associated with Uranus, the breakthroughs, the ahas, the surprises, the, revolt and depth that Uranus is taking us to right now. So keep that in mind, that everything we talk about, guys, together in our fishbowl is relatable to every single one of us, or else we wouldn't be here co-creating together right now.
Thank you so much for explaining that. That really is helpful. And now I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. All right, so we're ready to now start the readings, and we're going to be starting with Suri.
Okay, and we're gonna we selected 2 questions, so I'm gonna read from Melanie today, and I have my helper here, Luna, and Rebecca Jo. Just to call out to you, our dogs are animals are earth angels, and Luna is a rescue as well. So I'm very fortunate. She loves the energy, so she just loves to jump up on my lap, and she's listening to people's voices, so it's really cool. She's really digging the energy. So the 2 questions that we're going to be asking for today for everyone is, what are the opportunities that will arise for you based on the discussion we had about Pluto moving into Aquarius? And second is, what advice from Spirit is there for you? So Melanie, if you're here still, the first card I pulled from the Love of Dragons, and I pulled the card the fountain, if you can see it. And it's 17, which reduces to an 8, which is about doing the work, also about strength. There is an adage that says water doesn't wash, it remembers. Water, in its propensity for memory, has the power to clarify through remembering you to your original state. Now is the time for deep remembering. Go to the river or an ocean. Seek out a fountain. Water is a dragon's best friend as it keeps the fires of passion in balance. The waters of consciousness beckon you today to step out of your circumstances and into your deeper truth. Your situation doesn't define who you are. You define who you are. So this is an opportunity, Melanie, for you to really connect to your heart center, to really go deep within during this period. Now, what's interesting is the advice from Spirit. I had 2 cards that jumped out. One was the 3 of Swords. And so this may be a collective message for all of us. We are shedding our skin, so to speak, and we are leaving behind an old way of being. And so, Melanie, whether it is a relationship that's ended or you're moving on from some relationships that don't resonate for you, there may be some grief around moving into the new and taking that leap of faith and having to walk away from the old version of you. And many of us are going through this kind of coming out of the cocoon and emerging as the butterfly. And so with that, I think going deep within, that's your opportunity to connect with that heart energy, but also be okay to grieve the loss of an old way of being. But in order to get to the new, we have to let go of the old. And I pulled, this card came out at the same time. It was a Knight of Pentacles. And this night is the slowest night. And this is around kind of slow and steady wins the race. And just let go and let your heart feel and allow yourself to continue to move on and grow, but honor the loss and honor the old life or old way of being, the old relationships, because they did bring you to this point. Perhaps they're not going to be on your journey moving forward, but I think there's an opportunity in the 3 of Swords to honor and have compassion for yourself as you feel through the heart the loss, and then you are recognizing that you're opening up the new. So Melanie, I hope that helps, and what a pleasure to read for you today. And I will pass it on now to Marcia.
Yep. Hello, everyone. So I'm reading for Monique today. Monique, how are you? We are first drawing from the Gaia Oracle deck. Thankfully, we didn't get any naked lady pictures. Sorry, y'all. But we got Sacred Heart, which, as you can see, is pictured on the front of this. So Miss Monique, Sacred Heart, passion, love, and spiritual communication. You are entering a period of profound and heartfelt love, deeply emotional time where you can focus, a deeply emotional time where you focus on, question, and think about things that matter to you the most. You will find yourself reevaluating your priorities and core values, and this leads you along a path of self-discovery, bringing with it a deepened spiritual connection to the earth, to your surroundings, to friends and family and loved ones. Your passion and appreciation for life are heightened. At times, your emotions overflow to the point of being almost unbearable, yet this is nothing to fear or be concerned about, for this is the most sacred and precious time through which your loving intentions are both seen and felt by all around you. Your inner light and wisdom illuminates, heals, and inspires. This is a good time for creative writing, or you may feel inclined to draw, paint, or take up a creative pursuit of some kind. Thank the earth and the stars for the many blessings that you receive. Monique, I love that for you. With regard to what opportunity will arise for you, well, clearly you're stepping into a time of renewed passion where you can really focus on yourself and the things that light you up.
And in doing that, you spread it out into the world, and we need more light workers out there. With regard to advice from spirit, in addition, I had 2 cards jump out, thankfully, because this first card is 7 of Swords. And immediately I went to keep your ideas close to your chest. We're not sharing your ideas right now. But knowing some of the transits that were happening later this week, I know that this week would be a powerful time to write, paint, draw, get creative, get those juices flowing. But this to me speaks of skillfully, almost strategically planning your next phase, this next kind of Pluto phase, and knowing that some area of your life is going to be drastically transformed. The second card that jumped out is this lovely Taurian energy with the King of Pentacles. So this speaks to me of, you know, obviously material abundance and prosperity and things like that. But Taurus energy is also Empress energy, very sensual energy, very receiving, right? So although it's a masculine on there, that's very receptive energy. So be open to just being inside, like receiving the goodness of planning your next step, knowing that these next 20 years are going to slowly unfold and obviously bring you lots of material wealth and abundance, or whatever. Love is the new currency going forward. We all know that. So given that you got Sacred Heart, that will be your currency going forward. So whatever you like, love, and can't get enough of is going to bring you much, much abundance and fill our cup as well. So good on you, Monique. Thank you.
Okay, hi. I'm going to be reading for Brandy. Brandy, are you here? I hope you're here. I was asking for your month and date just because, hey, I feel like you're going through a spiritual shedding, and maybe this is for someone else, maybe it is for you, where you've gone through some loss, but it's really setting you free and moving you forward. And one thing I want you to remember, opportunities that will arise it's about breaking the chain. It's about breaking family, ancestral ties, burdens, controversy, complications that really don't belong to you. What old ways of being from your family line are you ready to let go? Seek assistance from your support team. So we're here to support you. I hope this does help. And part of it is you really need to share your voice. And I understand that there has been some tension and hostility, probably with just 2 or 3 people in your life. And this is really what needs to let go and be dealt with so that the advice is yes, to balance, to have that yin and yang, to feel the freedom, the liberation from all of this, to have some fun too, and really go out, be very heart-centered as you make these decisions, because you do have the Fool, Aquarian energy, where you take all that you've learned, all you've been through, any tension and hostility, and let it go, because there's a lot of really good things coming in. And just to double down on that, these came out together. Break the chain and share your voice. There's so much here about you speaking up about any family relationship types of issues that have kept you bound, so you can move forward with all this wonderful new energy. So Brandy, I hope that helps. And if you are in a year of 7, then that might really relate to you. So thank you for letting me read for you. And I am going to go to Jen now.
All right, so I am going to read for Larissa. And what I am noticing is we have a very clear theme that's coming out, and it's a theme of release. So for Larissa, I think that you have outgrown a situation, and it feels like it's probably a close relationship for you. So the first card is what opportunities will arise for you? And I use the wisdom of the oracle, and we have flexible. And this is a 19 card, and I'm going to just point it back to 19 in the tarot is the sun card. So that is pointing you into your better days. So the message of this card is really that like a seed, once you've outgrown, the space that you're in, you do need to be replanted in order to have in order to be the healthiest. So whatever environment you're in right now is not healthy for you anymore. It may have been healthy to a point, but now then you've outgrown it, and it is time to move on from that. The advice from Spirit I pulled from Spirit Song Tarot was the Ten of Swords. So I'm going to go ahead and read what this says. A master of spiritual renewal, Snake slides through changes with minimal effort as he sheds negativity and transmutes it into something self-empowering. In releasing destructive energies, Snake transforms from a lower vibration to a higher one. Snake will assist you through a metamorphosis and will help you regain your focus in the process. By casting away old ways of thinking that hold you back, your upward spiral will begin. Your reality depends on your perspective. Let yourself surrender to change, and you will discover that a revival within has begun. So there is a releasing that needs to happen, and I think that you do know what that situation is. So we're going to move forward now with Dawn. All right.
Yay. Okay. I am going to read for Michelle K. And I had shuffled and some cards had come out, and then I got tingly. And so what I'm going to do is I had this reading I did yesterday and went out last night. And the card that came up really ties into the cards that I see here. This is the Guardian. So I actually went and grabbed this back from that deck because it makes sense to me as what your cards are going to be and how we're all moving forward into this. We are moving into this maze. We are moving into this labyrinth. And we're not always going to know where it's going to take us. And we might take wrong turns. We might get confused and turned around. But we keep moving forward. And so the first question is always, what opportunities will arise for you? So, and this I found very interesting. So I used the Cosmic Journey Oracle because for me, this is very Aquarius energy. And it was enter one step forward, one step onward. And that's why I immediately went back and looked up that card because it's this movement forward, right? It's this one step at a time. And I love this opportunity for you. You're in a thick fog right now. You can see only a few feet ahead of you, and that's all you need. Instead of knowing each move, exactly which steps to take and in which order, realize that when you walk forward, the next step will be revealed to you. This is a journey of one step forward and one step onward. You are being asked to enter your perfect path awaiting you without reservations and without hesitation. So it's coming. And I really get the energy of that you're going to have opportunities appear to you like a fog parting when this occurs. And so the message from Spirit, advice from Spirit for you was I pulled from the Seven Energies Oracle. And you got this great and full, which is amazing because we're going to be talking about being grateful on Friday. That's our theme. So this was like, oh, well, Spirit is pretty busy today sending these messages for everyone. So great and full for you, Michelle. Before you can begin to understand the process of manifesting your desires, you need to practice deep gratitude and be willing to share that with others. This is the true nature of prosperity. It's not about the things you accumulate at all. It's about how you feel. You're invited to surrender an important truth. There is always enough for you. There is enough time to do the things you need and desire to do, enough opportunities to express your talents and connect to your purpose, and enough magic circulating through the invisible world into the visible. Begin your day immersed in gratitude for everything you have and everything you can't see yet. The unmanifest, which begins with every breath you take. Know that you are enough and all your needs are being fulfilled, even if you doubt this in some moments. No one's success can make you feel small, and comparing yourself to others never works. Your life is brimming with unique potential. Focus on that. When you hold this feeling of gratitude, it acts as a magical open sesame to the floodgates of abundance. Couple that with a playful sense of detachment, and you'll find that miracles have an uncanny way of showing up in your life. Your intentions burst forth into reality with little effort on your part. There is hope brimming with potentiality. It's okay that you don't always trust this. You are not alone in holding the candle high for transformation. Right now, contemplate how being in the energy of enough makes you feel. Eventually, you will have no attachment to what you do or do not manifest in the material world. What you do or don't have. Then, like magic, you have more than enough. What a fascinating universe we live in. So I really feel that is what is bringing us forward into this time. It is a powerful time of manifesting. Things are getting more and more magical. I believe that we will have past powers opened up to us. The timelines are converging. We are getting rid of old karma. We're going to have to work. There's no doubt in my mind that we have work that we're going to be doing, especially over the next 6 months for ourselves personally. The collective has a little longer they have to work with. But I just wanted to share that with you because I feel that there's so many opportunities for everyone out there. And I think Angie does numbers. So if you want to start putting in your numbers so that Angie can go ahead and pick someone. And I really do want to say that we appreciate all of you who put comments out for each of our channels and comments out for this channel and like and subscribe. The energy that you provide for all of us is simply amazing. And with that, I will turn that over to Angie.
Of course, I love hearing that magic in that great and full card. And just to note, Jen, with that 19 of the sun, that is a different energy path than it would be. So that still breaks down to a 10 and a 1. With that 19 is the path of cycles. And then once she does what you said, you're outgrowing that cycle, planting that new seed, Larissa, is going to be so important. So go back and listen to what she said there. Make sure that you're using that wheel of fate energy to turn into the 10, because the 10 and the 1 is your power. That's the power. So let that 19 cycle through. And then Monique, when Marcia was talking for you, I was just buzzing. So please go back and watch her message again for you. I would even literally just write word for word what she said. I'm just saying, because there's a lot in there for you that maybe if we can't hear it right now, it's going to come back around. You're going to look back and you're going to go, oh my gosh. So just wanted to say that there. And the first person, Miss Rebecca Joe, was a 3. So the very first person that put a number in was Rebecca Joe, and it was a 3. So Page of Cups, if you saw me shuffling there, here is an opportunity. Someone is looking at you adoringly, and for whatever reason here, the opportunity that's arising is going to be someone revealing a crush. They're going to be revealing, like, I don't think you have any clue that they even like you. It might be a friend that this could turn into a romance for, but it's crossed with a page of wands, which, throwing caution to the wind, you are carrying that magic stick there with you. And I love how there's a toucan, which is a really interesting bird. You might want to look up the spiritual significance of that. And oh my gosh, there are mushrooms everywhere. So if you were there at the top of the reading when we talked about the strange magic of today, what opportunities are arising for you is either through this adoration, through this person approaching you, you're going to create magic together, whether that turns into romance or not. But again, with this week being today in particular, take the leap of faith. If someone approaches you, if someone talks to you in the grocery line, whatever it is, it might just be more than that. So keep that in mind. There's mushrooms are about underground communication. They have a network where they communicate with each other. They know the business of the forest. So I also feel like this is an indication of an opportunity for your spiritual gifts to start getting enhanced as well. But you need to take some kind of magical journey here. I'm thinking of the Fruit Loops bird with that toucan Sam. Just follow your flight of fancy wherever that takes you, especially today. That is really, really interesting. And what opportunities here would arise for you? Like, what is the advice from Spirit about this opportunity? I can't believe those mushrooms are all over there. That is so cool. What is the advice from Spirit today? So also, Rebecca Jo, then since I mentioned Marcia at the top with the mushrooms, I think go back and listen to Monique's message as well. Advice from Spirit, please, right here. Time to collaborate. So what I say, you'll be joining together with this person. You guys are going to bounce back off of each other. Page of Cups, Page of Wands. This is an energetic match up, and we've got these missing these puzzle pieces here. Temperance energy. This person is a puzzle piece to either helping you with looking deeper into the psyche, helping you see you. For I don't think you see how beautiful and how light that you are, but this person does. And that's how you're going to know, is because they're going to compliment you on that. The ant, the number one card today is the one day. It is a one day of power. And that sister sign being Magician. Time to collaborate. How cool is that? There's a special little nuggie right there in there for you with this puzzle piece. So be open to this opportunity, okay? I hope that helps you. And we are now on to Miss Sari.
Okay, I'm going to read for Dream Sequia. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correct, but that's Dina. And the messages are so similar. And I can't believe I pulled from the Shaman's Dream. So the first question is, Dina, what are the opportunities for you during this time? And I pulled the Fortune's Wheel. Now, the Wheel of Fortune in tarot is 10, and Angie just talked about the importance of the 10 and the 1 in terms of forward progression and manifestation. Now, this is a 23, which is a 5, which indicates your fortune may come with some change or some unexpected things. So let me read this to you. Luck and right timing, a turn of fortune. It's a sign that luck has found the right timing in your life. You have the magic touch or the Midas touch, like the magician, and everything can turn to gold. There's nothing you can do wrong. You only need to hold what you desire as your intention, and it becomes true. Do not waste this power on small things. Dream big, for surely this opportune moment will pass. Such is the nature of the Fortune's Wheel. Use the creative power of the Fortune's Wheel for the benefit not only of yourself, but for others, and the gifts will be returned to you tenfold. The Fortune's Wheel can come unannounced. So this is where the change is, Dina. Notice the early signs, the coincidental encounters. Angie just spoke to those. You know, if you're at the grocery store or out and about, something magical may happen, and the synchronicity will happen as well. That email, an invitation, a chance encounter is no accident. They were all choreographed by fortune. So that's your opportunity during this period. And I guess the similarities in the messages, it's very powerful right now in terms of manifestation. And Spirit's advice for you moving forward is from the Witch Tarot. And this is the Nine of Pentacles. And this is a lovely card of abundance and manifesting on your own. So you have the confidence, Dina. You have all the support from Spirit. And when you start seeing these signs and synchronicities, act on them, take that leap of faith. And again, this will start to manifest for you in your material world. So look for those signs and synchronicities because they are about ready to explode all around you. And that is your message for today. What a beautiful message. And thank you, Dina. And I'll pass it on to Marcia.
We're actually at the end of the hour, so we're going to wrap it up after this. But did anybody want to add anything just to this energy that we're in right now? Just any of the messages that you've been hit with?
If you don't mind, I put a little quick message in there for Natisha, and I hope it resonates, but it's incredible to me that I keep getting this share your voice card. I mean, I only did 2 readings, but it really keeps coming out. And then this is beautiful too. This 22 card, tender embrace. It's just beautiful. It's about really having compassion for yourself and other people in our lives that may not be at the same energy level we are. And then I looked it up in the angel number book, and it is about believing that you are building the life that you want. And that is for Natisha. But do come back, you guys. If we missed you, we're happy to read for all of you as best we can. But I think that's a good message for everyone. We've got to go through this shift, speak our truths, let in the new beginnings, out with the old, and have a lot of compassion for people around you who aren't really understanding what the hell's going on that we do at a different level. So,
And Liz,
yes.
on your chariot that you pulled for Brandy. So Dawn had that maze card, which ties again back to the riddle me this energy of, and then the chariot we were talking before we came on live, the chariot card has the traditional chariot card has the Sphinx guiding the chariot on each side. So it's all about that riddle, solving the riddle, finding our way through the maze, sharpening our intent so we can push out all the clutter, clear the clutter, clear it away. And then that way, clear the clutter.
Especially burdens that don't belong to you, right? But what I love about this one too, it's really that yellow is about your solar plex chakra. And it's action oriented, and it's also about bringing joy and love and fun into your life as we go through all of this. Not
with
only
balance. There's that yin and yang with the black horse and the white horse.
Carry water, top wood, but go, what did it say?
Or vodka.
Carry your vodka maybe too.
Maybe not this early. No judgment.
There's always a lot about cleaning out clothes. I've gotten a lot of the cleaning out. So I think there's lots of clearing space. And that's one of the things I noticed about most of our readings was clearings. So, but it's clearing the better stuff.
Like,
this is nuts, you guys, today.
That's very Pluto energy, clearing out. Because sometimes things will happen. The Uranus, will get like we consider a tower moment. You'll get, if you need to change, and we all have a change coming, you'll get that tower moment, and they don't have to be bad. But if you keep ignoring your signs and synchronicities, it gets bigger and bigger. And then Pluto goes, okay, I got this. And Pluto will come in and create a big mess for you to clean up. So you understand the message, because you do not want to keep getting Pluto messing up your life. So I would say a lot of this clearing space is going to be very much about that Pluto energy coming in, because that's what Pluto does. If you haven't made the space, it will make the space for you, but it'll make a mess while it doesn't. So
It's happening regardless. Yeah. The change she's talking about, guys. I was like getting Peter Brady on. Remember when his voice changed and like he was like, "Oh, my singing career's over. You know, what are we gonna do?" And like the change, the change is coming regardless. And if you don't kind of adjust with it, so listen to what she said. If you don't adjust with it, Pluto's going to adjust it for you. The the change is coming. You're going to have to sing different songs now on in different keys and notes. That's just, it's growth. And if we don't like the word change, that always feels so scary. It's just growth. He's just growing up. And yes, he's still singing, not in the higher voice that he was, but he's still singing and he's still doing it. But he was trying to fight it, right, and still sing in that lower or in that higher tone before his voice change. So I don't know if anybody has kids that are going through that right now. Maybe I don't know why that popped in. That was a little odd, but that's what came in.
Well, I just got it. Collectively, that's kind of where we're at. We need to grow up now. We need to accept we're grown-ups now. So that's what I got from that. I love
That's
it.
I'm a
hysterical.
big kid now.
You know, I'm looking at, I think it's Dream Sequoia. I could have it all wrong. But anyway, mess before manifestation. It's almost like sometimes you really have to break down to rebuild. Okay, cool.
All right.
All
I
right.
think we can
Well,
close it out.
some of you are going to drink because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You're really funny. It's only Monday and you're going to go day drinking. Anyway, I'm teasing you.
Oh, Bloody Marys.
I'm
What
reading
you
the
said,
chat.
no
There's a
judgment.
few of them that are like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere and they're ready. Holiday season's upon us.
You guys
But,
are too much.
honestly, we're so grateful to all of you in the chat. So grateful. Can't wait to see you Friday. We'll be here at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we will be focusing on, oh my gosh, what are we focusing on again?
Gratitude.
Oh, gratitude.
You just said it too. We're all in that energy right now. It is.
I can't believe I did that. So I am grateful. And I will be grateful all week. And then I will see you Friday to show you how grateful I really am. And maybe if you could too in the chat, tell us what you'll be doing for the holidays. Oh gosh, Peggy.
I think we do need to announce we're not going to have our lives next week because it is a holiday week. We decided that we were going to take some time for our families next week. So please come on Friday because you won't get us next week. We are going to do the daily videos though. All right, go ahead.
Yes, good point. And I was going to say, when you come Friday, let us know what you do to express your gratitude or what's been done for you, or, just come share your experiences with us too. We would love to hear. Peggy, you're so sweet. Again, all of you, thank you so much for being here. Ladies, thank you for being here. Such great wisdom. Love you all. See you Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Peace.